What? Yeah. That's how this game is. It's just like, explosions all the time, all the stuff! Okay, let's try this again. Suck on that. Come on, you're not allowed to interrupt my shit like that. Get her! Get her! Oh, I hit the wrong button. And I'm dead. What was that? Did you guys hear that song play for like half a second? Martial law is the only law for free for all. I love bad political logic. Like, so most kids who are like angsty teenagers, we all went through, I'm sure, or at least a lot of teenagers I think went through an angsty stage where they were sure that all politics was stupid and that it's all very simple. All of politics is really simple and all the politicians are stupid and all you need to do is just like overly simplified solutions like flat tax and martial law and get rid of all the rules and just let government take care of itself. Everyone will just do their own thing. Communism is the best thing ever. Like everyone, a lot of teenagers go through that phase, and I love. It seems like there's a resurgence of it. What is this jerk doing? So they ran out of bosses, now they're just doing the same bosses over and over again? Ow. Nope. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Yeah, But I mean, even that has like, to play devil's advocate, there are some instances where we probably would be like, well, why doesn't the government save us from a giant nuclear bomb that's going to blow up half of America or something? And obviously that's a crappy argument. You can't like play fear to justify doing something immoral like that or wrong, but you understand what I'm saying, though. In general, the arguments people make and or hear about on the news and on the internet and everything, but right, those arguments are overly simplified, and people run around. And I don't mean to say that, like, because I hate the stupid arguments where people are like, oh, if it's just the media's fault, it's all the media. Like, it's not just the media's fault. It's also people not researching and looking into things on their own. Yeah, I agree, Arcandy. I mean, but you can say the same thing of pretty much any sort of implementation of government or anything. You know, that everything's going to have pros and cons and misimplementations and criticisms. And I don't mean to say that to justify it in any way, shape, or form. It's more so just of it's kind of par for the course, and it can and should be done better. But I can't even begin to explain how often I've heard from friends and family, it's so simple, politicians are all so stupid. And I'm like, are you sure it's that simple? Like, you know, when talking about something like flat tax, for example. Did I go the right way? So, for example, a flat tax, and I don't want to get too politicsy. I think this is hilarious, and I love when people do this. Yeah, I guess. Okay. So the current tax system, there's like, you know, there's a stepladder curve thing, right? So people who are super rich get taxed percentage-wise a lot higher. So they not only pay a higher percentage, they pay higher money too, more in general. And people who don't have as much don't pay as much or even as high a percentage. And super rich people, or not just super rich people, typically conservative, fiscally conservative people Ow. Come on. Dang it. Oh. This asshole's gonna murder me. Suck it, lady. Ouch. Ouch. God damn it. How did Medusa froze another Medusa? Is that allowed? Is that legal? Come on, I gotta do the thing. Oh, but basically where I was going with... Oh, shit, she froze everybody. But basically, the argument of this is, if it goes like this, right? So there's basically a curve that goes... Oh, god damn it, another one? Ow. But basically, if it's a curve like that, right, and the poor pay a smaller percentage and the rich pay a higher percentage, if you cut a flat line through that, how are you not taxing the rich less and the poor more? It's not. It's technically more fair, but it's less fair than it currently. Well, it's technically more fair. It's not. Oh, what's the right word? Oh, it's equal, not fair. There's an awesome image. Hold on, let me find this. Equal versus fair. Yeah, this picture's pretty funny. Oops, it's over here. I honestly don't like getting into politics. It's just it's a funny, misinformed and very shallow thought out argument I hear all the time, and especially now even more so on Facebook, because people like to, you know, it's the sort of arguments you would hear your like crazy grandfather say or something after he's had a few drinks, but now because of Facebook everyone hears it all the time, everywhere. These like slightly racist, slightly xenophobic. Well, it doesn't have to. I've had pretty good political conversations with some of my friends. Molecular Swords is one of them. So Molecular Swords and I consider pretty similar in a couple regards, in that I feel like we're both forgive me if I'm making this generalization unfairly, Molecular Swords, but I feel like we're both just a tad bit Aspergerish, a little bit in that regard. But because of that, I feel like we're able to detach ourselves from emotional arguments a lot easier than other people are able to. So, and a conversation about something like very emotionally heated, like abortion or like religious stuff and things like that, people have a hard time separating like pragmatic and then emotional. So they start making all these like angry emotional. Don't I want to jump across here? No? I guess not. Okay. They start making all these like emotional gut judgments, and they'll say hurtful things, and like they take things personally. But Molecular Swords, would you agree with me in that we're kind of similar in that regard? Like that super nerdy ability that kind of gets associated a lot of the time with Asperger's or autism.
I am stuck. Please, get me free. Ghost of Sparta.
Ghost of Sparta. Why? I was gonna help that. Okay, fine.
Don't come near me.
Honestly, it is. I see it. all the time. You probably see it a lot in higher education in general. I think it's all over the place, but in IT and CS in particular, I see it all the time, and it's the reason why there's the stereotype of the idiot or the geek or the annoying systems administrator. Like, you go and ask him a question, and he's like, "You idiot! Why'd you do it that way?" You know?
I beg of you. Why? Why have the gods forsaken me?
Oops, didn't mean to do that. But anyway, I will often get personally attacked, and or Haley has actually gotten upset at me because she'll make, so for example, the argument, I think I was talking about this earlier while coding. She was talking about how she thinks it's awesome that transgender people are able to get like surgeries and whatnot. How am I gonna get over there? Do I get over there? No, maybe not. Can I hit that thing? And while I feel good for those people, I sort of made the counter argument of like, how is it different? How is a transgender person getting body modifications and hormone replacement to become a different person? How is that any different than somebody like splitting their tongue or putting subdermal like balls under their skin to look like a snake? Like, if you feel like a snake and want to look like a snake, how is that any different than feeling like a man or woman and wanting to physically look like that, even though genetically you're something different? I said it's more of a problem with society that we're even okay with people, or feel like it's a good thing to do that. Like, I think definitely people, society. Why can't I don't know where I'm going. Would definitely look down on somebody modifying their body for fun. Oh, I gotta come back here. Compared to somebody getting a sex change, right? Like, if I go and get some plastic surgery to look like a tiger, I think people are gonna think that's much sillier than me saying like, well, I've always felt like a female or a male, and now I can finally... What is this guy doing? Now I can finally look like that. Yeah, but I look at it the same way as body modifications, right? So, like, what's really the difference? You feel like you want to look like X, so you get modifications to look like X. How is being transgendered any different than getting breast implants, you know, nose jobs, looking like a tiger, or whatever? So I made that argument, and then I ran off the thing. I made that argument, which I feel like is still a pretty decent argument, but Haley got like really upset at me, and I was like, whoa, alright, okay, let's stop talking about that. Do I press this? No. But that's kind of like a perfect example of how my brain is just like, well, I'm gonna make an argument here that may be emotionally loaded, but yeah, but so is breast implants and nose jobs, right? Why is being born a man but feeling like you're a woman and getting all the plastic surgery and hormone replacement to look like one or the other, why is that of more merit than feeling like I have always thought of myself as a big-breasted woman? I now want giant boobs. At the end of the day, it's an aesthetic thing, right? So I look at it more of a problem of society in that we can't tolerate, okay, you've got some guys, you got some dudes over here, some dudettes over there, some in-betweeners over there, and then a variation of personalities across them. Some dudes who are a little more feminine than male, some guys who are gay but are effeminate and not effeminate. Like, why isn't that more okay? Well, I'm making an assumption here. I think society would consider getting a sex change more of a admirable thing than just getting breast implants. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe other people do see it the same. Right. And by trends you mean it's a cultural or a societal thing, right? How did that hit me? Oops, wrong button. Right. I think it's fine that they're happy with how they look, but I don't see it really any different personally than getting an awesome tattoo and feeling better about the way you look. You know what I mean? But I feel like a lot of people would find that belittling. So, yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. So, molecular swords, why would you say that is? Hormones do physically, like, change you. How on average, but what if you've always saw yourself as a guy with large muscles? You've always felt like you were a large muscular dude, so you get like saline implants to give yourself larger appearing muscles, or larger breasts, or liposuction, or any other not transgender but aesthetic only type modification. Ooh, goodies. You see what I'm saying? At the end of the day, while some people, it may be a little bit more surface level. Well, it's all surface level, but some people it may be a little more about improvement. Other people who are not getting transgender, I guarantee, identify with the type of body that they are trying to modify. Right. So molecular swords, you would say those are okay, so that you just said it, that they are the same thing, right? But don't you think a lot of people, and I'm making a straw man argument here, I realize that, but don't you think a lot of people would disagree in that even if somebody has those same desires, it's not the same, that it's somehow belittling to consider those two things the same? Okay, so, Dead. Oh, I saved. Damn it. Huh. It's pushing against... Right. Yeah, and that's why I brought that argument up, because it's a difference between nerds like us who are able to separate feelings and logic, and then most... I don't want to say most, that makes me sound like an asshole, but a lot of people who have a hard time differentiating the two. Oh, come on. I don't think I can get through this. Sure. I think I have to press some other button somewhere. Whoa. How's it pushing me back so far? Is there some lever I'm missing? No. Changing the body in the case of transgender is otherwise. The transgender community would find it right. That's exactly what I said. They aren't on the outside who they are on the inside. But here's the thing: who they are on the outside and inside, that's a completely cultural and projected thing. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's more a problem with our society that we can't just be okay with having. Okay, so you got groups of dudes. Dude, that's literally not, what is that? People who have both sets, right? And are a little bit of both. And then a gambit of both sexualities and personality types. So you can have more effeminate males that are straight. You can have more masculine men who are gay. And vice versa with the women. Why can't our society just be cool with that, as opposed to us expecting, oh, I'm a male, but I feel very effeminate. I should actually be in a female body. I feel like that's more of a cultural problem than anything. You know what I mean? Dang it. I'm gonna wait. Oh, dang it. Right, and I'm the same way. What's you in a nutshell? Oh, so what were you saying? Sorry, I missed that. People who do not. I've met people from those who refuse any evidence to people who take 100% on truth. And they have an interesting conversation about it the other night with a good friend of mine. How, while there's a ton of evidence, they said that basically because we can't know that we know things. Oh, Arcandy, are you talking about the argument that the dude used against Bill Nye? Oh, Freeman's come. You feel like you're a more effeminate. You feel like you're a. See, I don't like using the words "woman in a man's body" because I don't like the fact that it's like a societally projected. You feel like you have to be one or the other. You know what I mean? Like if your body is male, if you have an X and a Y, you are scientifically male, right? There's stuff going on inside of your body that make you feel certain ways. Those certain ways can line up with different shit in society that we sort of look at, right? So like my wife, I love the fuck out of her, but I consider her more masculine in the female spectrum, and that's why I love her so much, because she's like an awesome friend, but also still effeminate and my wife. But on that same note, I don't consider her a man and a she's nowhere near that, obviously. She's not like a super masculine. I meant just like slightly more so. But even if she were, I wouldn't consider her a man in a woman's body. Like I don't like projecting those. You know what I mean? It's like pigeonholing. Like our humans' personalities are far too varied and different to just be like you're a 1, that's a 2 personality, you're 7. It's like, no, man, it's a grayscale. We're all very interesting and very different. Why can't we just be like, yo, that guy's like this? That's just how he is. He's not a frog. It's not a frog. You know what I mean? Like I don't like using those classifiers. Maybe we'll be completely different than we think. Yeah. So that's religious-wise, they kind of consider that that's a God of the gaps sort of argument. How people will say like, okay, well, we haven't explained X, Y, Z, but science has explained A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P. Therefore, God exists because of that. So, an argument. That's a type of rhetorical fallacy, but like an argument of, yeah, Rogue Effect, we're doing troll gaming, but an argument with a lack of evidence. Can I grab that? Yeah. Oop. You can't say that something that has a lack of evidence. You can't use that as an argument for yourself. Is something wrong with you? No, I mean, if you're male and you find other men attractive, that'd be considered technically homosexual, and there's nothing wrong with that. Who cares? Sexuality-wise, I really doubt anyone's 100% straight or gay, so that's another weird classification that it's like, who cares? Why? It's like being handed a color or a spectrum of colors or a painting. Right? That's what it is. Here's the analogy. It's like being handed a painting and being like, what color is this? And you're like, it's a whole bunch of colors, man. It's a painting. And they're like, no. I need to know what color it is. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? There's all sorts of there's colors all over this thing. And they're like, I need to know. Is it red? Because I don't like red. If it's blue, I'm okay with blue. It's like, what? Listen, man, I will not deny the fact that I've thought about whether or not I like men or not, and I came to the conclusion that I didn't. But I'm pretty sure all guys at some point in their life think like, do I like men? No, I guess not. Okay. I guess there's some people that are super homophobic and would never even consider it, but I don't care. If I was gay, I was gay. You know, if I would be happier that way, then I'd be happier. Bam! Well, check it out. Purple's now on my face. So Freeman's come. If you haven't already noticed, my Twitch chat is a little interesting. As I'm playing these games, you guys can troll me using special commands that play lights on in my room. What is this? Is there anything in here? No. Play lights in my room. You can also like flip my monitor. You can do all sorts of stuff that make the game harder for me. Wait, is she alive? Is she gonna talk to me now? But Arcandy, as far as the argument, that was one of the biggest. Oh, come on. That was one of the biggest arguments that Ken Burns used against Bill Nye. Ooh, can I kill these guys from all the way over here? Oh, come on. Yeah, suck it. Are they actually taking damage? I don't know if they are. Just let my hit counter go up forever. Oh yeah, definitely. Looks like he eventually did die. So yeah, Ken Burns argued with Bill Nye that basically you can't know that like the devil didn't put the bones there. There's no way for you to know because you didn't see it. He's basically saying that it's impossible to do science after the fact, to look at something after it's already happened and determine that it happened that way. But when you think about scientific causality, that's how all science happens, right? Like, yeah, we do the whole reproducibility bit, but like, you do an experiment and we can't look at the atoms happening. Looks like this guy's never gonna die. But you look at the outcome of it, right? So like, no one's ever gonna be able to see the Higgs boson. We can only ever see its... Whoa. What? Okay, cool. It was damaging him. We can only ever see the output or the effects of it on other things. People see stuff that doesn't happen? Arcandy, explain what you mean by that. And am I misunderstanding your first argument? That it's impossible to know things? Because scientifically, we don't know anything. We know things to certain degrees. There's something called a p-value. So we take... So, for example, here's a good argument, right? Oh, yeah, I agree with that, Arcandy. But if you hallucinated the same thing every time you did the same things beforehand, oh, thanks for the follow, Ghost, then you might start making an argument for it actually exists. But, so here's a fun, interesting argument, right? How do you know for sure that the sun is going to come up tomorrow? You can't go into space and, like, look yourself. You've never gone into space. You don't know. The sun, the Earth could be flat as far as you know, right? And the sun could just be hopping up, or maybe it disappears at the end of the night. Like, you can't be on both sides of the Earth. You don't know for sure. But you have a certain degree of probability that you can know that with, based on how many times has the sun come up and gone down, based on other people's... So you take all that data, you stick it together, you develop a p-value, and you test it, like gravity, right? How do you know gravity's not going to turn off right now and we all just start floating around? We don't. It could. We have no guarantee or knowing that gravity won't just stop. But we've tested gravity a lot, and we have a large sample size, an n, right? And there's a mathematical formula where you can put it in and get out a p-value, and if it's less than or equal to, what is it, 0.1, or some people like 0.5, that's fine too, then we consider that statistically significant. Whoa, holy smoke. Dang it, wrong one. No, 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 no! Damn. I didn't mean to do that. Right, and that's what science is we're just taking a bunch of stuff that we think we know and testing it to the point that we know it better. Well, Arcandy, I think where that argument comes from. See you, Midwinter's Tomb. I think where that argument comes from is the fact that scientists constantly sell themselves short, and they should. Like, if you talk to if you go ahead and read one of those, read a headline in the news about something science, and they're like, blah cures cancer, right? It's just like, this is known. We know this for sure. And then if you go and talk to the actual scientists, they're all like, well, we know it pretty well. We did a whole bunch of tests, and we think so, but it also could be this, and it could be that, and almost every science paper I've ever written has said at the bottom, towards the end, in the discussion, more studies are needed. More research is required. We should test this even more, because that's how science works. We never give up on anything and say, well, we know that for sure. We're constantly like, well, I don't know, maybe gravity will turn off tomorrow. How do you know? How do you know? Right, exactly. But that's sort of the telltale sign of somebody who's full of crap, is because if a certain base, whenever new evidence comes up, they revise their view on life, and if then another point of view, new evidence comes up that refutes their view of life, and they fight against it, you kind of know who's looking for truth and who just wants their view to be right. It was a pretty great quote, I'm not sure if it's real or not, from the Dalai Lama, and I don't consider myself Buddhist by any means or whatever, but he said something like, if scientific evidence were to come out that proved Buddhism incorrect, then we would have to change our view, or it was something like that. I'm paraphrasing. But that's how science is, and that's why science is awesome. Oh, god damn it. Oh, fuck these things. Ow. What am I doing? Ow! Ow. Ouch. Oh, god damn it. You jerks. Not during boss fights. Oh, he zapped me. There's two of them. There's three of them. Oh no, there's just two. Okay. Holy crud. Oh, my health. Oh, I'm dead. Arcana, you killed me. No, other way! Other way, other way, other way! I'm dead. Yep, I'm dead. Alright, let's start this fight again. Fuck these birds. Well, here's the problem. It's not out to disprove their religion. But if they base their religion so strongly on something that can be scientifically disproven, they're basically just asking to have that argument happen. No. I think that's... So, Ghost, I think what you're talking about right there is a classic case of, oh no! Damn it. How can you fucking... I think that's a classic case of confirmation bias. It's real easy to forget about every time something doesn't happen and only remember the times it does happen. Ouch. God damn it. No, no, I need to hit him. 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 Whew. Oh, I didn't do the thing. Thank God. Freeman's coming. You have to... Oh, motherfucker. I keep not paying attention. You have to, Spitbot will tell you when you're in control. That's the only time you can use the commands. There you go. Wait, is this a third one? No! No! Oh, get that one. Motherfucker. There. Hit the thing. Oh, I didn't do it. Got it. I'm using save states, obviously. There we go. Right, yeah. That's how I look at it as well. Because, to be honest, anybody who's confidently an atheist is just as silly as somebody who's a theist. You know what I mean? You can't know for sure that there isn't some magic monkey living inside the earth making everything work. It's not possible to know one way or the other. Oops. Ow. Oops. Ah, damn it. Yeah, I consider myself just to be pro-science in that regard because I don't really care about making hypotheses without any data. I just care about learning as much as possible about the world around us, you know? You went there and saw... Okay. And that's the other awesome thing. I love when people say, listen, my brother's uncle's sister sees it all the time. She knows for sure. And then you explain to them what confirmation bias is and how it's so damn powerful. What just happened? What? What am I doing? Save. What? Do you guys see what's happening here? Oh, we have to hold, mash it. The UI on this game is super confusing. Damn, it's 2 in the morning. You guys figured out how to get me to stream way past that I normally stream. Start talking about interesting stuff. Alright, well, where are we in the walkthrough? Can we finish this tonight? Are we at the Temple of Thanabus? Oh, fuck. I don't know where we are. Let's find the next actual save point. Here we go. Perfect. We are at the Nexus of Atlantis. No, we're not beating it tonight. Alright, we're going to stop here then. Be quiet. Take a save state as well. Alright. So Freeman's come. Here you can see a couple of the other fun things. If you type in either, what is it, spine or tapping, one of these two servos would go off. Normally when I play scary games, we weren't playing a scary game tonight, but when I play scary games, you did flicker. Those servos will be on me and they'll like tap on my shoulders or like brush my spine or my leg or something, and it does really creepy stuff. Alright, so I'm gonna kill Spiffbot. You were born without your memory. What if... So, Ghost. My reaction to that would be... There's this idea in science, it's not really a rule, they call it Occam's razor, and it's, in layman's, the simplest way to put it is, if the simplest answer is usually the correct one. So when I look at something like past lives, in order for past lives to exist, there would have to be a lot of underlying complicated stuff going on. It doesn't mean that there's not, but it means that there's a lot of really intricate moving parts, and there's a big ball of working machinery behind that idea to solve what is a much simpler answer of just there is no previous life. There most likely, and I don't want to offend anybody or anything, but the simplest answer to a lot of these questions is there's probably no past lives. There's probably no such thing as a soul or anything like that. There's probably no such thing as ghosts in that regard. Because in order for all those things to exist, there would have to be a lot of really complicated stuff going on. And it doesn't mean that there's not. There could very well be, and we just don't understand all that stuff because it's so complicated. But if the question is, what happens to you when you die? And if the simplest answer is, you just stop being, compared to you go somewhere or that energy becomes another life and you just forget your memories and whatnot, it probably, it's way more complicated to assume one versus the other. Same thing with like aliens and ghosts and all that stuff. Like, does it make more sense that somebody just saw something and misunderstood what it was, or that there's actually an alien life form that keeps visiting Earth and not like talking to people? Oh, check and mate. Freeman's come. Check and mate. Well, on that note, I'm gonna get out of here. Alright, I'll be back tomorrow night. I stream every night at 11. We do normal games Monday through Wednesday, and then scary games Monday or Thursday through Sunday. So we'll hopefully be finishing this game tomorrow. Alright everyone, thanks for watching, and thanks for the awesome chat. We should do this more often with boring games like this, at least. I really enjoy interesting conversations like this. I shouldn't say interesting, that was interesting. Alright, see you everyone. Night.